Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So, excuse me, frog in my throat this morning. This last week, all week long, I've been thinking about trust. I preached a sermon Sunday, and I touched on the idea of trust. The idea of what does trust look like? And I made this statement. Trust is never earned. It's only given. And I know that the society says that that's absolutely wrong. And everybody's going to want to argue with me. And I'm okay with them arguing with me. Because it's perfectly okay for everybody else to be wrong and me to be right. I know that sounds bold. It sounds arrogant. But I've learned some things. Now, I will tell you, I struggle with the concept because I grew up that people have to earn my trust. I grew up with the idea that people have to prove to me that I can trust them before I will give them the chance to have a place in my life. And I prefer it that way, honestly. I can keep people at arm's length. But that's not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that you give trust. And so I've been dealing with this. Oh, by the way, if you want to watch that sermon, it's really easy to find. Go to Pastor Stitch on YouTube, click on the sermons folder, and the sermon from last week is right there, along with everything I've done this year, if I remember right. Anyway, there's several sermons up there, but that one for sure is there. I know it is. I uploaded it. And so if you want to watch that sermon, that would be fine. But as I've been struggling with this concept, I've been having opportunities to interact with people who act in ways that leave me less than satisfied with their actions. I'll put it that way. And so I was reading this morning in Proverbs 25, and I read this. Trust an unreliable person in a difficult time is like a rotten tooth or a faltering foot. And I realize that word trusting there isn't really trusting as much as it is putting your confidence in an unreliable person in a difficult time. It's just like having a rotten tooth when you need to eat, or a foot that you can't walk on, right? We've all twisted our ankles and known that if we put all our weight on the ankle while it's healing, we're just going to fall down, right? It's not reliable. We won't be able to run fast, all of those things. There are times where it's necessary, but it's not as productive as if it was a healthy foot, right? There are times when you're chewing and you favor the other side. I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have teeth because I had them removed to go through my cancer treatments, right? But the reality is, when I did have teeth, I had a bad tooth, and I would always favor the other side. But there were occasions where I had to bite down on both sides. And it hurt, and it just wasn't right. Trust is always given, but it's not nearly as productive. And as I was reading that, I read in verse 26, a righteous person who yields to the wicked is like a muddied spring or a polluted well. How many times have you had somebody in your life who is unreliable and you need them in a moment, and then they do their very best to convince you that their lack is your fault? If you were to believe that, wouldn't it reduce your witness? And so what I'm saying this morning is, you need to give trust. But what you allow them to do in your life and the influence they have in your life is only based on what they do. You trust them where they're at, not beyond. So when they grow, then you can give them a little bit more influence in your life. I have individuals that make progress in their life and then they fall back into complete unreliability. I never change my love for them, but I won't give them a key to the church, for example, because they haven't proven to be trustworthy, or reliable is a better word, not trustworthy. Trustworthy is not the word that's right. I trust them to act the way they've always acted, or act the way they're acting right now. And when they become reliable, they get a little bit more influence in my life. And that's really important and hard to discern, and I'm struggling with it myself, so it's hard to explain to you. But what I am saying is it's okay to struggle with it as long as you're putting your focus to God and asking Him to direct you in that path. But I will tell you this other part, and this is more important than anything else. You can't trust anyone else until you learn to trust God first. So start there. In every moment of every day, no matter what the world looks like around you, and you're ready to give up, tell God, my life sucks. It's okay to talk to Him that way, by the way. Say, my life sucks, I don't like X, Y, and Z, but I trust you, and I know this plan is better for you than it is any other way. And so I trust you, but I would like it to get better. And see what happens. I love y'all. I truly do. And I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, like and share this video. If you haven't done it already, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, Pastor Stitch, and we'll chat with you again tomorrow. God bless.